What's popping, everyone? Welcome to another episode of 10 Minutes with the Star. My name is Nomwande Hayo, and I'm going to be your host for today. So, thank you so much for joining us. And if you're a regular, then you definitely already know that joining us tonight is none other than Bucci, all the way from Malawi. Hi, Bucci. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on 10 Minutes with the Star. You look dashing and handsome at 10 p.m. in the evening.
Thank you for that. Thank you for the compliment. Okay, okay, okay.
And I think we can just get started into the interview. It's the new year. Happy New Year, by the way, 2023.
Yes.
Made it. We made
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too.
it. Thank you so much.
We're there. We made it. We made it.
What plans do you have as an artist for the year?
My plans. Oh, that's a wild question. That's a wild question. Well, I think mostly I would say I want to impact change. I think that's my biggest theme right now. And everything and as a whole, I think for me, I just want to impact change this year straight.
Yeah, so it's all about the change, all about
It's
impacting.
a,
I think
it's all about change.
I think that's very beautifully put because,
Thank
asking
you.
a question, I'd expect you to say, oh, I'm just trying to bring out more music. I'm just trying to do this and that. But in the way that you're bringing more change, it's very important. And I think in your music, that's also how you communicate in order to bring about change. And just speaking on that, you're already on your way there. You released a song about not too long ago that actually focuses on sign language. And I think it's very important because musicians are, obviously looking for people to listen to music. So I think it's a very different approach when you make a song that focuses on sign language. Can you just tell us a bit about how was the creation of the song and what was the inspiration behind the whole project?
All right. First of all, I'd like to just put it out there that I'm a brand ambassador for Tikonza Papa, and this is an organization that is changing the narrative of the challenges of the deaf community here in Malawi. And I know that a lot of people been on that track, just trying to find out what's behind, who else is playing a big role on what we're trying to do. It's Tikonzia Papa. That's the team that I've been working with, and I'm excited to work with these guys because they believe in just this simple concept of the deaf community. People from the deaf community can actually be functional and contributing members of the society, and that for itself is big because that's partly what the song is saying. We believe that people from the deaf community or deaf people in their full form, they can actually become TV presenters, musicians, dancers, be it lawyers, you know what I mean? And that's a big concept. The song itself, it originated, or the birth of the song was from a conversation that I had with my creative director, who's also the founder of Tikonze Papa. She asked me to compose a song that initially would consolidate, support, and change the perspective of a deaf person. And we took it from that conversation into brainstorming about over a month, and then later on, I was lucky enough to run into an interesting conversation that was on TV the other night, and that was clear. And we created the song, I presented the song, and here we are, basically.
Damn, that is absolutely amazing. I think it's mind blowing because sometimes we take our inabilities and we allow them to stop us from doing certain things. Because someone might say, well, a deaf person wouldn't be able to necessarily hear the song, but you worked around that to make them feel included because they're human as well, and they are able to
Yes.
do more than what the eye seems. And I think it's very important to actually highlight that in very different ways and forms. And I think it's such a beautiful initiative that you've actually started with the organization. I think it's so amazing. I think I'm
Seconda Papa.
yeah,
Yes.
I'm excited to see what else is going to come out from this because I know
You
it's
know what I
the
mean?
beginning. It's only the
I'll
beginning.
tell you. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. We literally have uh I was given a rough picture of what it's like, right? For example, in Malawi, when we're looking at the deaf community or the deaf population, we're talking about 500,000, and then most of those people live in shadows. They don't have access to opportunities that most of us have and we take for granted. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Exactly.
For that itself, you will never know what can come out from that community. But I'll give you this picture. If you've watched the song, the Apapa video, I'll tell you that most of the cast in the video are deaf, including my dancers. Some of the members in my dance team are deaf, and people watch the video and they just think everybody is just everybody, but that's the concept, because we are so glued to this stigma that we think if you're deaf you cannot do such and such, and we put a limit on it. But what if we said, you don't know me and I can just run up on you and you say let's dance and I battle you and you are the loser? What do you say about that? That's the clear picture we're trying to give. So I think what you're saying is basically complementing what happened in the video and what we're trying to the message we're trying to give out to the world, basically.
Which is
Yeah.
really, really, really amazing. And there's a bunch of
Mm.
other questions that I'm gonna ask in the interview, but this specific one is actually really phenomenal and important because
Thank you.
not only are
Mm.
you focusing on the deaf community, but you're also assisting people in the deaf community to be within the entertainment industry because now you've
Yeah.
given people opportunity within the deaf community to feature on music videos, to showcase their talent, to show other
Mm.
people across the world that deaf people are also able to do things that you as a
Yes.
society don't think they're able to do. And that opens up a lot of doors. I mean, I'm pretty sure that there are organizations as well in South Africa that can actually open up more doors for people in South Africa and from Malawi to South Africa to
We're looking forward to
Kenya
those. We're looking forward to those.
to the world. Excited
Thank
about
you.
that. And as an artist for 2023, you said that you are making a change, and I think that's basically part of the change that you're bringing up. Are you in the kitchen cooking up some new songs? When can we hear
Oh,
that you're cooking?
you bet we are.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
are. We've been super busy since the release of Apapa last year, November 7th. Uh, we've been cooking choreographies. We've been cooking ways to amplify on the dance topic. We've been running a TikTok challenge on my TikTok, Bucci Worldwide, and it's been an amazing thing because you'll find that 700 people going up there that participated in the dance challenge. Now, what's amazing about the participation is each one of those people that has taken part in learning that being part of becoming first-hand advocates for the deaf community, because the choreography of the challenge is not just dance; it's a combination of dance and signing. So people have learned a basic sign language through that. So coming to this pace. Thank you. Coming to this pace now, where you're asking that have we been cooking? Yes, we have something exciting that we're about to unleash as well, and you can definitely I can definitely assure you that we are still including the theme of bringing awareness to the deaf community and sign language all throughout the projects. Because as an artist, I still need to evolve and move, with the time and stuff like that. But this theme is still pushing forward with it. I don't know when it ends, but maybe until we start breathing. That's
Yeah,
how it is.
it's never gonna end. It's never gonna
You know
end.
what I mean? Yeah, that's
Not
how it is.
only is it just gonna open up for opportunities for the deaf community,
Mm,
but for also other people that
mm,
experience inabilities and
mm.
disabilities. I think it's going to
Yeah,
open up a lot of doors for people in the disabled community to just have a
mm,
light shine upon them. And I think
true.
it's so important. This is actually something that's very dear to my heart. That's why I speak so passionately
Ah,
about it. Because
appreciate.
I feel like, you know, I've always wanted to come up with something that actually includes all disabled people in something, because I feel like it's a little bit unfair that, you know, they're born the way that they're born and society is just moving on without being inclusive. So I think what you're doing is absolutely amazing. And as an
Thank
artist,
you for that.
do you have anyone in particular in Africa or South Africa that you'd love to
Mm.
collaborate with anytime soon?
I would like to take that question a little further because if you look down in the history of African music, you find people like Fela Kuti, some of the people that we some of the legends that we had here, the likes of Matafale. These are people that were socially conscious artists, and they spoke for the communities and just basically the nation itself. I think that's the path that I'm trying to take. And when we look at collaborations, I'm trying to uh, collaborate more with other organizations that have their foot down and they're really making a change, impacting change in different societies, small communities, and just, you know, on the youth and the elderlies and stuff like that. I think that's the path that I'm trying to go to, and those are the main people that I'm trying to collaborate with. But if you talk about artists, I think I'm pretty much open to because I'm pretty versatile and I have a couple of artists that I have on my list, but I think for now I would just concentrate on collaborating more with organizations, and that's the path I want to take. You know,
I love that. I
so
love that. A man with a vision, a purpose.
appreciate.
You're going
Thank
into
you.
a collaboration knowing exactly what you want to
Mm,
get out of that
mm,
collaboration, which is pretty smart. I like that. And
mm,
you know, you have a lot of fan base in Malawi and a lot of
mm.
Malawian children looking up to you. What words of encouragement do you have for them as they're growing up, trying to discover the type of people that they want to be? Since you, I believe, have, you know,
Mm,
made it in the industry that you are
mm.
in at the moment. What words of encouragement do you have for the people that are looking up to you?
I think the biggest thing I would tell my generation, the generations to come, is the fact that as the youth, we are we know that we are the future we are of tomorrow. We are the leaders of tomorrow.
Amen.
So with that being said, if we just sit back and not do anything about whatever we feel needs change and that we're concerned about, tomorrow, if something goes south, we have no one to blame but us because we were young today. We could have done something. So I'm saying to the young people, I'm saying to the coming generation, don't just sit on your feet and then just say, okay, cool, point at the problem. Why don't we walk to the table and be part of the conversation? The table is never going to invite most of the young people. We need to be able to find ourselves our way to the table and sit on that table and discuss things with the people that, okay, cool, what are we doing about tomorrow? Because if we implement today, tomorrow is much more favorable to us because we chose that path, you know? So I feel like that's the biggest message I could give people from whether you're in arts, whether you're in poetry, whether you're in low frame or whatever it is, be it whatever profession, go to the table and be part of the conversation. That's
Yeah.
all I can say.
I
Yeah.
think that's absolutely stellar. You know, sometimes as a host, you know, I
Mm,
interview a lot of guests, and I like to ask the question of encouragement because I like to get different perspective. And it usually is just about, hey, believe in yourself, you got this. But in the
mm.
way that you're saying it, we need to be the change that we want to see. Because
We
at
have to.
the end of the day,
We just have to.
if we're gonna sit down and not do anything about it, how are we going to ever see the change? What's gonna happen?
I feel like if we don't do anything, we don't have the right to complain.
We don't.
We don't. We could do something about it. We could just do something about it. You know what I mean? Our voices are pretty much loud enough to be heard. So why are we just sitting on it?
Definitely, definitely. And man, this is called 10 Minutes with the Star, and we're just on the 10th minute, and it's like actually on this
it's already done.
Keep going, because there's just so much that we can talk about. We touched on so little, but so much at the same time. But
That's true.
To South Africa, when can we have this interview live?
Man, I'm not gonna put dates right now. I'm not gonna put myself in a row, but I am definitely gonna pull through. I need to pull through. I've been in talks with a few people that side, and I understand that the government there is trying to approve sign language as one of the official languages of South Africa. So that's a program that I would like to be part of. I wouldn't want to miss that. I want to be able to see it with my own eyes and be part of the history, and most possibly to also come back here in Malawi and bring that change here. If we can have sign language as one of the official languages in Malawi, I think that's a huge change for us. It's a big win. For that, I would also just highlight the objective that we have for Tikonze Papa, the organization that I'm working with, because mainly what they're trying to do is to make sure that every deaf student from primary to university, right? They have the ability to achieve their dreams through the in-class sign language service. Because what happens is when they're in class, they're not able to learn they're not able to learn fully if they don't have an interpreter there, which means if you have to go through primary to university without a sign language interpreter in class, you have problems, because you have to finish the whole day, go back to the teacher and relearn everything. So the teacher has to teach you the whole thing for you to understand. So Tikonze Papa has actually just launched the first ever program. Right now, as we're speaking, we have the first sign language interpreter at Shirazu Secondary School here in Malawi. And that's where we start. The rest, we just hope for the biggest.
And that's big. I want to be part of the change as well. Hopping onto the bus that is carrying this huge change and to witness everything. I think it's absolutely amazing. Every single person needs to hear about this. Every single person needs to actually feel what I'm feeling. I don't know how to explain it, but it really needs to happen from person to person, and definitely the change is yet to come. I mean, we need to be the change, just like you said. I feel like you say stuff and you live stuff. Your encouragement is definitely testimony to the way that you're actually carrying yourself. And I'm just so privileged to actually have had this conversation with you. Thank you so much for just joining us this evening. I know it's late, but you made the time, and we really, really do appreciate it here at 10 Minutes. When you come through to South Africa, hit us up. Maybe we can link up and do an interview.
Yes.
On where we're at, and I think it was absolutely amazing.
Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity as well. It's been such a great chat. I'm hoping to see you guys soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you for joining us.
You too.
Bless up. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Undu wa hurumali osamba ni muntu ngati aliyense andu wa defi alimunga sotu tonsefe akoza gwira ntchito iliyonse yakuchipatala